Hi Taurus, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for visiting. This is your April 2018 reading. And first, what I want to get started is a little bit with astrology. I just want to tell you a little bit what's happening in the sky. From April 1st to April 15th, there's going to be a time of contemplation. After April 15th, you can start pushing the new ideas that you had. So if there's any seeds that you've been planting, really consider them around the first 15 days of this month. And then once the 15th hits, it's full speed ahead. And this year, Jupiter makes a visit to each sign for 12 months. And each sign represents a different area of interest. Different areas of interest. So for example, last year Jupiter, the planet of luck, expansion, and higher education, was in Libra. And that's more about what you want as far as commitments, relationships, money, etc. You know, things like that. Partnerships. This year it's more about money, power, sex, and secrets. So that's kind of like been the theme this year. And that's kind of why, like, in like celebrity news, people are hearing about people's secrets, and you're kind of walking by and hearing random people talk about personal details. When Jupiter is in Scorpio, it's a time of that. Usually some kind of crazy taboo stuff comes out in the news, and a lot of taboo stuff starts coming out. So this is the year for that kind of stuff. So just be really careful. Just, you know, understand that Jupiter is in Scorpio, and secrets can be released during this time. But the cool part of Scorpio being in Jupiter is that you can actually really create a legacy during this time. You can create something where you can actually start an investment, and it's going to be the next cycle for 12 years. So 2018 is just a launching pad. You have to ask yourself where you want to be in 2030. So right now is the time to plant seeds, and around September, October is about harvesting time. So this really inspired me to start a new series to help all of the astrological signs to be their full potential. So what I want to do is I want to have, not only do I want to provide, you know, free general readings, but I also want to help with a game plan. So if you have ever inspired to do something magical that you never thought that you could do, you thought that it was absolutely impossible, today's the day to go ahead and subscribe, because as long as you keep subscribing, I'm going to try to provide as much as information as I can to help you lift you to your dreams. And it's not going to stop from this month. We're going to talk about this month. We're going to go back to the past. We're going to go into the future. We are going to take the proper steps to help open your mind. And Taurus, I just want to tell you, this has been a project of mine for the last year and a half. I didn't start making these videos until I completely asked God, who I believe in. And I had been fasting for a year and a half before I started this process, because I did it selflessly to make the world a better place. So what I want to do for from now until September, and it's going to be harvesting time for everybody, I just want to help everybody get back on track to the life that they want. Because really, at the end, we all just want to be happy. We all want to live in harmony, so that way we could be abundant. And the goal is abundancy. And I would like to tell you, from now to 15th, if you can start making a list of everything that you've ever fantasized about, whatever you think that is attainable, that does not hurt others, okay? So consider what you would think would be if you had a magic wand right now, and you told yourself, I wanted this thing right now. And it's not anything that is going to hurt you in any way or hurt anyone else in any other way. Like, any way you look at it, this is positive from all aspects. As long as it's positive from all aspects, and you believe from your soul, like this is your calling, this is the moment in time in your life to get this project going. So if you need to have communication going, do all your fact checking first, and then start communicating with people after the 15th. Before the 15th is not the time. Mercury is still in retrograde. Mercury is a planet that represents communication. So if there's an idea that you want to start launching to other people, or if there's something that you really want to start, As far as when it comes to communication, communication can be jarbled during Mercury retrograde. So if you're thinking about launching a business, you have to be really, really clear, and it takes a lot more time. It's like going through the current when it's like the opposite way. You have to like really slowly take your time and be careful not to drop your things, you know, as you're walking through that current. So if you don't want to walk through a very hard current, I would definitely recommend waiting until April 15th. That's going to be the time when the current can go a little bit faster. Because what happens is when we don't pay attention to what we need, when we don't set up a goal plan, when we don't prepare and we don't have a cushion in our lives, it could cause a lot of detriment, and it can cause our financial condition to worsen. It could cause us to be even in more debt. So the best thing to do is to live in harmony with everybody, so that way everybody can support you and your dreams. Because I think, Taurus, at the end of the day, you're such a lover. And how good would it be if everybody was on your side? Imagine your spouse or your girlfriend or the person that you love so much, or the person that you live with so much, you love you so much and support your dreams. And actually they're, you know, providing everything that you need in assistance to the way that you want to live. Imagine that. Imagine that they gave you everything that you wanted, and all those holes and those emptiness was completely, you know, filled, and then there was no more void anymore. Can you imagine how you lived? Imagine already, I was thinking the other day, I was already happy, and I was taking a trip to nature. And even that trip to nature made me even more happy. So you need to stop being guilty about feeling happy and amplify that even more, especially if it doesn't have anything to do with like destruction of any sort. Okay, so the month of March was a time of reflection. If you haven't seen my video for March, kind of look back to get a little bit of a gist of it, to understand where everything is starting from. But fast forward to right now, it was a time for contemplation and making a checklist of what you want in your life. So if I will start a series for everyone. I want to help them. I'm going to provide some instructions so that way they could reassess really like what they want. So for example, like the first month would be like making a list of everything that you want. So for example, in April, this is the time to make a list for everything you want. After April 15th, you could start the communication of that process. So when I get into the series, after all of the general readings are done, and it's going to be sometime in April, I'm going to have like an educational series for people to enhance their dreams. And it's all going to be based off your zodiac sign. So, you know, there's a lot of things that you have in common that other Tauruses do too. And one of them is your material side, your security gains. You think a lot about losses and your financial gain, and you're concerned a lot about these matters. And I'm very sure that love is something that's very important for you, because especially that, you know, your sign is Venus. So that is very also important to you too. Like, I want to make sure that all of the holes in your soul are filled. And sometimes going against the current can be really hard. But if you have like a sailboat, sometimes that can help you. So what I want to do is like, I want to be there to help people feel like they're not alone. But at the same time, like, you know, look at other options, and always, it's always your decision and your choice on what you want to do. But looking at the past when Scorpio was in Jupiter, and I don't want to bring up anything that is sad, but it's kind of like, it's kind of important to know. Back in 1994, when Scorpio was in Jupiter, that was the same time that Kurt Cobain committed suicide. And it was a mixture of depression and heroin. So it's very important that we're very considerate of what people are going through. We need to also be aware of addiction. Like, this is a year to really, really, really be aware that there are people that have addiction problems. And maybe even some of us or some of our family members, you know, and just sometimes love and healing can help a person feel a little bit better. And I was just thinking, you know, Taurus, something that could really provide health for you is really going back into nature. If you've ever been a person that loves camping, I mean, I really can see a Taurus just sitting out there and camping. I don't know if that's your thing, but, or even taking a hike. If you ever have some free time, like if you have like 3 hours free in the beginning of the day, or 3 hours free at the end of the day, or you have a free Sunday, or you have a free Saturday, please take your friend, please take the person that is the closest to you the most, the person that brings you the most joy, and just tell yourself that today we're having a good day, but we're even going to make it happier. And, you know, that is something that you could do that would really, really, really make you happy. But just remember, April is a month for launching the future, and harvesting time is September, October. So please take your time this month. Think about exactly what you want to do in your life, and what do you want to accomplish by September, and also what financially do you want to, what do you want to commit to, and what do you want to own for the next 12 years? Do you want to be in a relationship? Do you want to be in a partnership? Do you want to be alone? Do you want to buy a house? What kind of financial debt do you want to get into? Do you want to be out of debt? And please leave anything inspiring that you have. Like on the comments below, I'm always like asking for people to leave inspiring comments, so that way if someone else doesn't have an idea on a dream, then maybe Taurus, you can help others think of something to look forward to. Because sometimes when we're really sad, we can't think of all the ideas that made us happy. And my example that reminds me of all my Tauruses that are in my life, I was the most happiest with them, and I noticed that they were the most happiest with me when we had family groups together. So if you can like plan out a big one in September time, something that means like even October time, like I don't know if September or October is like a really special month for you, but I want you to celebrate something instead of like focusing on where it is lost. So if you can plant some seeds right now, because this is a perfect time, Taurus, plant some seeds right now, and this year, make it a big bang, make it beautiful. Make something, whoever was special to you in the month of October. I don't know if it's an anniversary that you have, or if it's your spouse's birthday, or something special in September, October season. Make it count. Make it count, Taurus, because it's harvesting time at that time. So this is the year to do that. This is a special year to do that, because whatever you do this year is going to affect you for the next 12 months. And this is what really pushed me to start the readings this year. Like, publicly starting my readings this year. And I started it in your sign. And I feel like we have so much in common, because we also share a planet too. I'm Libra, and we also share Venus together. So I understand the love that you want to share between family and people around you. And I understand that generosity that you have for others. But it needs to be pre-prepped and designed in the way that you want, so that way there's no hiccups. You know, there's going to be hiccups around the side, but around the signs, but around the times is what I'm saying. Like sometimes there's hiccups, and sometimes it's smooth sailing, but we can't lose our shit in the process of it. So when you want to lose your shit, come back here. We're going to come up with some suggestions. Like I said, subscribe, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to start slowly filling up my channel, and eventually I'm going to have my own website of different ways people can naturally heal themselves without having to spend money. Because I know, like, sometimes money is a detriment, man. Sometimes you gotta spend here and spend here. What about the things that are offered for free? And that's where my love comes, and I give out to the world. And because I feel like whatever I produce to God's children, God will have it for me. So I don't even have to worry about it right now. What I want to do is I want to provide a resource and an outlet out there for whoever is frustrated, whoever is depressed, whoever feels like they're not good enough in a relationship, whoever feels like there is a loss. I want to be there so that way I can be that voice for you, so you can come into understanding where you know what you're going through, you know how to resolve it, and it's not the end. There's another next step. So every single month, I'm going to go month to month explaining what the energy of this month is, and what the cards are saying, how the story is playing out, and what we could do about it, and what the solutions are. On my channel recently, I have uploaded different types of meditations. My favorite ones were uploaded on my channel. You can actually save whatever you want. Like if you find a really cool one after you click on mine, save as many as you can. Name it meditation, name it whatever you want, but save them so that way one day when you are alone and you don't know what's going on, and you're feeling stressed, and you feel like you don't have the answer. Sometimes the answer just comes to me through meditation. And it's through meditation that I decided that I was going to become a vegetarian, because I felt like my soul would be lighter. Because when we were younger in church, they would always teach us to fast. They would always say that if you want something great, you have to also give something up too. And because it makes your soul lighter, and then it opens up paths. So if there's something big that you've been wishing on, and you have a higher source that you believe in God, Jesus, Buddha, Muhammad, whoever you believe in. There's a lot of religions out there, even spiritual people, not even people that are in religion, but even spiritual people that believe that fasting is a form of sacrifice to the gods or God. And to get a spiritual message, so that way you can follow your path. And sometimes that's all you got to do. You got to actually do less. And sometimes it's fasting. It's giving up something that you really love to do, or something that you really want, in order to receive it. Like, for example, if a partner is not working out for you, you give them up, and then either they come back better, or another one comes back better for you. That's just an example. But when you're fasting and you're taking the time to contemplate on it, you're giving yourself a time limit from beforehand, and you're saying, okay, for example, I'm going to fast from the 1st to the 15th, and I'm not going to do blah blah blah. But I want this, but I know that, for example, if I did this, it's totally possible, and I can have a game plan by this, and this. So what I want to do is, I want to just be that friend that walks along the way and walks along the path, that reminds you that you're not alone, that anything that you wish can come true, but you have to go back to that place of de-stressing yourself and understanding that anything that you want is absolutely possible for you. All right. So now what I'm going to do is, I am going to go ahead and start on your general reading. And right now I have the Emperor. Okay. So here's actually, this is what is happening. My card that's in the foundation position is saying Page of Wands. You have this fiery passion to start something new. I have a feeling that it's for something that's like monetary, like income wise, like you have this desire to start something. But it could be a relationship too, but it's a desire of passion of starting something new. April is a month of like the rosebud is finally blooming. And that's exactly how your heart is feeling right now. So by the time April 1st happens, especially by the 15th, it's like, what's crossing you is not, you don't feel like you're the emperor. Like if you felt like, what bothers you right now is like, you want to be the boss of the house. Like you want to be like the man or the woman or the person that's like in charge. Like, no, you shut up, you shut up, you shut up, you shut up, I'm in charge. But maybe you're not saying it that way, but it's like, like I want to be the provider, but you're also going to be the servant if I'm the provider. But maybe I'm not, it just sounds rude. It's like, this is not stuff I would say. I don't know how to say it. It's like, I'm going to take care of you, but you better listen. Or, like the emperor, how the emperor talks. Like, I'm the provider, then you have to be the caretaker. Because the root of the matter, what's crowning it is either you want to be like the Queen of Cups, where you're emotionally fulfilled, like this is what you feel like would make you fulfilled, or it's because of this woman who is very emotional, makes emotional decisions sometimes, or like, stuff that doesn't make sense, like, the emotions move sideways, not back and front. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, all of a sudden, it's Queen of Cups is a water energy. So they don't have to be a Scorpio or a Cancer or a Pisces. But it could represent that sign. It could represent that is someone who you're dealing with. But it also could be that it's not that person and they just act like that. Like, not a person that is dramatic, but a person that sometimes could be emotional. And sometimes that's like a perfectionist, like overbearing. No, let me take that. Let me do it for you because I can do it really well. That kind of feeling. Like, no. Like, you didn't wash it good enough. Let me take care. Let me comfort you. Let me take care of you. But it could be like they're very helpful, but they could be like very overbearing sometimes too. Okay. So in the distant past, you were juggling like your financial options, but something magical is coming in mid-April. Okay. It's gonna deal with the communication that you need to have. There's some kind of communication that you need to have by mid May, and you're going to have an opportunity to start something. And it's going to be something that you've always wanted. Maybe you wanted to do like family business together, or maybe you wanted to like come together with your family and like have, bring a wedding together, or maybe you like, where you've been waiting for your ships to come in. Like has been a dream and a process of where it was like people coming together and like agreeing on something and like bringing the boats out to start it, for example, whatever that means to you. Maybe you're doing this for your family, maybe you're not working with family, but you're doing this for your family. But I get the sense of, I need to go do this for my legacy. Just make sure that you're not in delusion about who you're dealing with and what they're saying. Because the next card that I have is like the moon in reverse, and the way that I'm feeling about it is that it could be that the veil is lifting and you're starting to see like the reality of really everything for what it is. It's gonna be like a moment where you felt like you were deluded, like you didn't know what's going on around you, and you finally understand your situation. You're kind of finally understanding personalities. You're finally understanding something that you didn't understand for a very long time, and it's like all of a sudden the light clicked and you understood it better. And when you come into this realization, I see that it's going to either have you travel, or you're going to think about you're going to travel. I don't know if this is a business venture, but it's something to do with the starting of that first desire that you had. So I see it pushing a little bit more and more, starting in the middle of the month. Some kind of new idea is going to trigger that push, and you're just going to move through. Something tells me Cancer, Cancer, Cancer. So I think, I'm not saying like Cancer, like the killing cancer. I'm talking about during Cancer time. So like after your birthday, there's a huge possibility that you're going to be going somewhere during the Cancer time. And I think that that's like July time. Like that's when really things are going to be starting to move. So you will probably visit somewhere, I'm guessing like middle end April, to do, it might not even feel like, if you go to travel with friends and you go somewhere to do something, or you go and travel somewhere, just a short drive or a short trip or even a long trip, something is going to come inside of you, where the thought will come inside of you, where it's going to bring the ideas of prosperity. So do you remember when I was telling you about the drive, and I was telling you about camping, and I was telling you about sometimes we need to sit in the car for like, like an hour or two, and then all of a sudden this idea comes to us. And I feel like there's like this passion. Because I have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, because there's a project that you need to start financially, and the opportunity is there, but you're not opening every door. There's a door that needs to open. There's a door that's coming around that's going to happen right after mid-month. You need to make some communication. You need to take the veil off and see really what it is for what it is. And start being inspired on your original dream and add to it. Add to the original dream. Maybe the first dream fell apart. It collapsed. But maybe now it's like the next best thing for you. The next card that I have is the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords reverse. So I see that you're holding your tongue. You're not telling people about this project yet. And it's like the Seven of reverse. You feel like if you do this, that you're getting away with something. But you don't need to feel like that. Because I see that if you share it with others, it's going to be Nine of Cups. So if you start sharing your dreams with others, everybody will start understanding what you're thinking and will be on your team. So from this reading, what I get is the fear of expressing what you want. Taurus, I just feel like there's a little bit more research that has to be done. do your research the first 2-3 weeks of April, get everything out, look through, turn every rock, make sure that this is exactly what you want to do. Get into it, get into every detail, and then by the end of the month, if you share it with others, you're gonna feel more emotional fulfillment. And if you don't share it with others, then you're gonna feel like you're getting away with something and you have to sneakily do it. So if you put people in the process from the beginning, they're gonna celebrate it with you. So that's what I'm seeing from the cards. Okay, Taurus, this is your April reading, April 2018 reading. Thank you so much for joining me today. Remember, I'm gonna have a series after these general readings are done, and then we're gonna have a game plan so that way you guys can see exactly what is happening every single month. So please like, share, and subscribe, and hopefully we see each other soon again next month. Thank you again, guys. Have a great day.